Are you looking to make some big bucks? Have you been looking into making an investment? You're probably thinking of buying stocks, cryptocurrency, or even renting out your basement. But you might make top dollar if you sell a few pennies. While this isn't financial advice and there's no guarantee on anything, there are some rare pennies that have sold for top dollar. Let's look at the rare pennies that are actually worth a lot of money. The 1914 S. Lincoln penny. While this isn't the rarest of rare pennies, it's one that's valued at $105,800. It sold in August 2006 and is part of the Bowers and Marina and Kate Collection Part 2. The penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint with over 4 million coins minted. It's retained its copper color and was stored in a way to protect it from tarnish or wear. If you find any old penny in good condition, you want to research how you can store it properly. Rare pennies that are worn can sell for a lot, but if you manage to maintain it properly, you might get an even higher return on your investment. Plus, it's more beautiful when it doesn't look as old as it is. Before we tell you more about some rare pennies you might want to get your hands on, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. The 1943 Bronze Lincoln. Let's jump ahead a few years to 1943. The 1943 Bronze Lincoln is a rare penny that, as of now, hasn't been seen in too many places. Only a few have been discovered, making it a truly rare coin. With this penny, the U.S. Mint wished to preserve as much copper as possible. The copper would need other uses relating to the Second World War. As such, pennies were made using zinc-coated steel metal discs known as planchets. This contrasted with using bronze planchets. Nevertheless, it seems a few of these 1943 Lincoln pennies were struck with bronze after all. As such, it's known as an error coin, but that doesn't take away from its value. As of now, it's not clear how many 1943 bronze Lincoln pennies were created, but if you find one, you might want to hold on to it. It might just be the next rare penny a collector is looking for. Just make sure you watch out for any counterfeit editions of this penny. 1944 Steel Wheat Penny. We know that the penny is the only U.S. coin that isn't silver in color, but in 1944 there was a penny released that had the same color as the other coin denominations. This was the 1944 Steel Wheat Penny. As with the 1943 Bronze Lincoln, we don't have an idea of how many of these pennies were minted. The penny wasn't intentionally made to be silver in color. It's believed that perhaps the coins were mixed with steel plates that led to the silver color. As such, these are also error coins that have a high value. Make sure you don't come across a counterfeit 1944 penny that's actually made of zinc. 1909 S. Indian Cent. It wasn't always our 16th president who featured on the face of the penny. In 1909, 309,000 pennies featuring an Indian head were minted. These pennies have been found ranging from $300 for worn pennies to $1,000 for pennies in mint condition. These are more readily available, and you might be able to buy them online or at a local coin shop. While not the most rare of rare pennies or the most valuable, you never know how much they might be worth in the future. If you want to start coin collecting, these pennies are beautiful and might be worth adding to your collection. 1873 Indian Head Penny. Of course, Indian head pennies go back before the 20th century. The 1873 Indian head penny is another rare penny. There were a little over 11.5 million of these pennies minted. This doesn't include pennies that weren't released or ones that were eventually melted. It's one of the most valuable Indian head pennies available. You can find them selling between $250 to $10,000 depending on the condition. This is another beautiful penny you might want to check out if you're interested in starting a coin collection. If your family has been in the U.S. for several generations, you might want to check a piggy bank that belonged to a great-great-grandparent. 1858 Flying Eagle Penny. While we now associate the American eagle with being on the back of the quarter, the flying eagle was the face of a penny in 1858. It's estimated that 24 million of these pennies were minted, not including uncirculated pennies and melted pennies. An 1858 Flying Eagle penny in average condition might only sell for around $15, but if you have one in pristine condition, you might fetch around $10,000 for it. The Flying Eagle penny was the norm from 1856 to 58 until the face was replaced with the Indian head. You can also find Flying Eagle pennies from 1856 and 1857 that are rare and sought after by coin collectors. If you'd like to collect pennies for your coin collection, you'll definitely want to find at least one with a flying eagle on it. 1955 Double Die Lincoln Cent. Here's another error coin released in 1955. Something went wrong with the minting process and each letter and number was printed twice on the coin. You can see 2 letters each from In God We Trust at the top of the coin. On the left, you see 2 letters each from the word Liberty and then 2 numbers each in 1955 on the right side of the coin. Americans soon took notice of these errors when this penny was released, and soon it caused many Americans to become first-time coin collectors. These coins can be found for around $1,000. You can even find an uncirculated 1955 double-die Lincoln cent for around $2,000. You might want to ask your parents or grandparents if they've hid any of these pennies from you. They might be saving them for a rainy day. 1864 Indian head penny. Here's another valuable Indian head penny that coin collectors love to get their hands on. Let's look at the coin in context. It was during the American Civil War, and times were tough for Americans across the divided country. As such, many Americans held on to gold, silver, and copper coins and bullion for storing their wealth. As such, the federal government had a limited supply of metals needed to mint more money. On these rare pennies, an L was added to the end of the ribbon that adorns Lady Liberty's head. Very few of this penny remains uncirculated, and it's estimated that only 5 million were minted. It's another rare penny you might want to hold on to for the future or consider selling for a high amount. 1877 Indian head penny. The 1877 Indian head penny is valued at close to $150,000. It was sold for around this amount in August of 2007 at Heritage Auctions in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So why is this penny so valuable? Of all Indian head pennies, this one is the rarest. In 1873, an economic downturn had begun in the U.S. It seemed to have taken its full effect in 1877, and times were tough for most American families. Saving money, even a penny, wasn't on the table for most American families. As such, finding an uncirculated 1877 Indian head penny in great condition is extremely difficult. If you've got one, don't tell the whole world unless you want to sell it. 1909 VDB matte proof penny. This is a proof coin that was minted for collectors. Just under 1,200 of these pennies were minted, and they all bore the initials VDB, which was the initials of the designer. Abraham Lincoln's portrait is on the face. The initials are on the back of the penny underneath the words 1 cent and in between the 2 feathers. Since it's an incredibly rare coin, it's highly sought after by collectors. It's also changed color after being stored for over 100 years, and the brilliance of the colors has made it even more appealing to collectors. If you happen to find a 1909 VDB matte-proof penny, consider holding on to it or sell it for as high a price as you can get. It was valued at $258,500 and was sold in August 2014 by Heritage Auctions in Chicago. VDB stood for Victor David Brenner, who was the creator of the Lincoln cent. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you collect rare coins, or do you prefer to collect rare cash? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First for more. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.